Okay, just 1 second. It's streaming.
Such
Okay,
anticipation.
here we go. All right. Let me let everyone in. Admit all.
Yay!
And presto, just like that.
Yay!
The Jews, they're all here. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach, everybody. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see all of you, so many of you. It feels like I just saw you a few days ago, you and several hundreds others. I hope you had a meaningful Yom Kippur, a easy fast, a good, spiritually challenging day, a day of growth, a day to surge into a new year. And lo and behold, here we are at the first festival of that new year. Delighted to be seeing all of you, and we're going to be celebrating together multiple joys, layers of joy. It so happens that this holiday, Sukkot, is actually known as Zman Simchatenu, the season of our joy. So we're moving from Yom Kippur very quickly to the season of our joy. And as you're going to see, lots of reasons to be joyful, especially on this Shabbat. So let us first just celebrate the joy of being with one another. Hinei matov umanaim shevet achim gam yachad. How good, how pleasant it is for us to be together to welcome this Shabbat evening and this festival of Sukkot. Cantor Cates.
Hinei matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov Shabbat Achim Gam Yachad. Hinei matov Shabbat Achim Gam Yachad. I hope you're joining me. Hinei matov u'manayim Shabbat Achim Gam Yachad. Hinei matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. One of the things that we look forward to most in our house is the chance to celebrate Shabbat and to welcome in a little bit of light into our lives and into our homes and into this world. And so we are so excited to be doing that tonight, especially with the Allison family. Abby Allison is going to be called to the Torah Abby's right here. Abby's going to be called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah tomorrow morning. And we are so proud and so excited to be celebrating. You're going to see her light the candles in a moment. So we're going to invite Abby and her mom, Melissa, to welcome in Shabbat by lighting in the Shabbat lights.
Abby, you are literally making Shifra Bernie Noble's like night. You are the show. Please unmute yourself so we can hear you as you make the blessing.
Hi. Okay. Hi, Shifra.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov.
Amen. Everybody catch that. Blessing's a little different tonight because of the coinciding of the first night of the festival of Sukkot with the night of Shabbat. And so Shel Shabbat, kindling the lights of Shabbat and of Yom Tov, of this festival day, The custom is also on the first night of a festival, we join together in marking this moment for blessing, just that we're all together at a time of ritual significance. And so we all know how we do that. Shehachianu, v'kiyamanu, v'higianu, lazman hazeh. We praise you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has given us the gift of life and sustained us, that we might all arrive at this Shabbat together, at this festival of Sukkot together, at this weekend of Abby Allison's bat mitzvah together. All of these good things that we are getting to share with one another. And so please join with me in celebrating the gift of our lives together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Having kindled Shabbat light, we are ready for what is always supposed to be the first mitzvah of Shabbos, which is blessing our families and celebrating the gift of love in our lives. And I look across these screens that we're gathered on, a couple screens worth of faces, and I see a lot of folks who are here with young children. It's great. If you've got young children, this is actually a time where traditionally you would bestow blessing upon them by placing your hands upon their heads. Some of them may object to that. Some of them may be tall enough to place their hands upon your head. That's okay too. Any of this works. But I want to say for all the rest of us who are not, right now with young children right close by, first off, we were once ourselves young children. And we once remember what it was like to feel the blessing of our parents. Maybe it wasn't bestowed as a blessing that was spoken aloud or even hands upon heads, but we felt what it was like when we had that sweet spirit of blessing in our lives. And so looking across these screens and knowing the way in which our community strives to create and be family with and to one another, let us extend loving blessing not only to the young ones who are there with parents or grandparents, but all of us across screens, across miles, to our loved ones who may be gathered someplace else on this Shabbat evening, in our memories, to loved ones who are not physically here with us anymore, but continue to be a part of the light of Shabbat and of the festivals in our lives. Together we'll join in blessing them. For those who want to follow along in the words, the online prayer book has the words on the third page. And how do you find that? You find it by going to our temple's website, leobecktemple.org/live. That puts you at our live streaming page, and there you'll find links to all kinds of different prayer books. You want to go to the one that's our Friday night prayer book, and you'll find on the third page the words for this blessing we're going to join in singing together. Here with you beside me, I feel so greatly blessed. This moment means much more than I can say. A time to be together, a time for us to rest. Shabbat is here, the time has come to celebrate the day. So I hold you close, my hands upon your head. And from me to you, my child, these words are said. Yisimcha Elohim, Ke'Ephraim v'chim Nashem. May God give you life and strength like Joseph's sons. Yisimech Elohim K'Sara Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May God make you like our mothers, like our blessed ones. As I watch you growing, I smile through my tears. Sometimes I wish you'd stay forever small. But then I see you blossom, and I befriend the passing years. I love you now, I love you then, I love to see it all. So I lift my voice to offer you this prayer. For every step along the road, I will be there. Yisimcha Elohim Ke'Ephraim v'chim Nashem. May God give you life and strength like Joseph's sons. Yisimech Elohim K'Sara Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May God make you like our mothers, like our blessed ones. May God make you like our parents, like our blessed ones.
We now prepare for the Kiddush, our blessing on the wine. And wine is something that is meant to bring us joy. It might be grape juice, whatever you're drinking. It's fantastic. And this is like a double rejoicing, double moment, really triple moment of sweetness. We got Shabbat. We have the joy of it being Sukkot, and we have Abby's Bar Mitzvah. It's a triple mitzvah, and it's amazing. And one of the reasons we bless wine is because it's something that we cultivate from the earth. It's something that grows over time, and we really can appreciate it. And so I'm just really appreciating Abby, how much you've grown over the years, and you've arrived at this moment. And you are part of the sweetness of the Shabbat. You are a blessing to this community, and invite everybody to rise as Abby will lead us in the blessing for the Kiddush. And I think you guys just have to unmute yourselves.
Hello.
Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tivanu v'ratzamanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom tehillah lemikraye kodesh zeher litziat mitzrayim ki banu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat
Kodesh
Uva
Be'aratzon
Hinhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
We are all on this journey together, and that was such a beautiful modeling of how we are just moving through the wilderness. And we're concluding our table blessings with this blessing over challah. I have a little delicious nugget of challah right here. And maybe just take a moment, whether you have a little delicious nugget of challah literally right here in your hand, or just maybe it's somebody close by or something really, some little nugget that you're just going to carry with you into Shabbat. I'm looking at all of you. Maybe it's just like you have it on gallery view and you're just looking at all these delicious little nuggets that are joining us in community for Shabbat. So let us hold on to our nuggets and join together. Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Who's with me?
Eloheinu melech
Baruch
haolam.
atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Good Shabbos, good Shabbos. This beautiful thing is that we don't have to go anywhere. You are in the right place for the service. You don't have to click on anything. You have arrived. So we are so excited to enter into Shabbat with you, to be with you, to rejoice, to be ready just for a beautiful Shabbat. We have Abby's bat mitzvah tomorrow. We have Havdalah tomorrow night at 5:30, and we look forward to even celebrating for those of you that stay on after the service. We are going to continue together. You're going to be invited into one of the sukkahs of the clergy team, and we'll do a little learning and reflecting and laughter and just a little extension of being in community and sweetness in a Sukkot Shalom and a shelter of peace.
We got this.
And Shifra may be up still. She may not be. We don't know.
Time will tell. Well, Shabbat Shalom. We're also going to be, you'll see, because it's 6:15, we're going to have some folks who will just kind of continue to sort of sprinkle in and join us who were planning to come for the service. It is a little different for us this week because it's Sukkot. We wanted to have this service be one where everybody can see one another. So the service is going to be held on Zoom instead of by stream. And that'll also enable us to interact with one another when it comes time at the very end of the service for our study in the Sukkah. You'll have the opportunity to see and hear one another's voices, and that's something that we can't do on streaming. So a little bit of a different look for us. Up to you whether you want to be watching this service via speaker view, which means you'll see which of us on the clergy is leading some section of the service, or if you want to be on what's called gallery view, which enables you to see all the different faces across all the different screens. You can get to those. That's a choice that you get to make in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. You either click on speaker view where it says it there, or gallery view where it says it there. And whichever one you click on, it will change to. So make your choices. You might even enjoy moving between the two. Hey, go crazy. It's Shabbos, and it's Festival of Sukkot. You can, just let it all go nuts like that. So with that in mind, I want to make sure that everybody knows a melody that will come in very handy a little later in this service. It's just going to be a simple little yalala melody that we're going to open up with together. But bear it in mind because it will have words added to it as we pray, words that are specially for this festival of Sukkot a little bit later in this evening service. And it goes like this. Try it one more time. We're going to be entering into the core of our service in just a moment, but before we do that, one other little instruction. There are probably any number of you who are right now seeing and hearing this service on Facebook. We have all kinds of folks who join us on the Temple's Facebook page. That's always a great way to experience services too, but on this night, one thing I do want to give you a heads up about is if you have the link, if you're a member of Leobeck Temple and you received our email that included the special link for the Zoom service, that would enable you to be inside the Zoom if you wish to be a part when we get to the end of services, if you wish to be a part of the study that'll take place in the separate Sukkot. So that's the one thing Facebook can't give you. Facebook can totally connect you to the service and see and hear all the same things we're going to see and hear during the service. But if you want to join with us for the study, at least by the very end, you'll have to connect to us by Zoom. And with no further ado, Rabbi Bernie.
Wow, that's a very, thank you for that Shabbat welcome, Rabbi Jason. It's hard to believe that just this past Monday we were observing Yom Kippur, and that now we're gathered together 4 days later for Sukkot. And there's really a shift in the mood. We have on Yom Kippur the solemnity and the seriousness and spirituality of the day. And then we move into Sukkot, which, as we learned earlier, we're actually commanded to experience joy, and it's supposed to be festive and joyful. And it feels odd that we go from one to the next. And yet I think our tradition is trying to offer us a teaching about what it means to live in this world, which is filled with both the joy and with the challenge and the seriousness. And so our liturgist, Reuven Hammer, explains the transition in this way, and I thought it was really instructive for us. He says, on Yom Kippur, we are in heaven. On Sukkot, we are very much on earth to our great pleasure. We cannot and should not stay very long in the rarefied atmosphere of Yom Kippur. We have to return to earth to begin to build and make life happy and fruitful, not only for ourselves, but for others. If that is the outcome of the days of awe, they have been worthwhile. They call to connect Sukkot with Yom Kippur in this way is symbolic of what Judaism wants us to take away from these days of awe. They're not to be isolated, but are to be integrated into a total Jewish life, one that includes celebration and a full relationship with God and with other human beings. And in this way, we actualize the Torah's command to choose life. And so as we move into this new year, which I will say feels just bizarre in so many, many ways, we're called to still experience some of that seriousness that we had with Yom Kippur, and to really feel that, and to feel the fragility that Sukkot also reminds us of, but also to allow ourselves, even for just a few moments when we sit inside that sukkah and eat together, to also experience the joy of our families, of our community. And so we're going to begin with that joy with our Kabbalah Shabbat service. Lecha Dodi is on pages 20 through 21 in our online prayer book. And we will be singing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד ישמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ותפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה Top of 21 התעוררי התעוררי באורך ומאורי אורי אורי שדברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה הנה שבת נקבלה. I invite you to stand, if you are able, and to face the entrance to whatever room you are in. Because you want to imagine in the doorway the arrival of Shabbat, the bride. Let her beauty inspire you. Boi v'shalom hateret ba'ala kam b'simcha ובצולה תוך אמוני המסגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה הנה שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה הנה שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה הנה שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה הנה שבת נקבלה. On page 28, the online prayer book, our call to worship, Baruch Hu. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Le'olam va'ed
As we prepare for the Shema on page 34, I just want to invite us just to take 30 seconds of silence. We are living in a world that is so loud on so many levels, and it is very hard to let there be silence, to let our bodies settle, to receive this Shabbat, to enter into the sweetness of Sukkot. If you're not already on gallery view, maybe it's just even taking a look at all the sweetness that's all these people on this screen. And if you'd like, you could just close your eyes. Just take the next 20 seconds as Cantor Cates prepares for the Shema, just to receive.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. You may be seated. We continue with the Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha v'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom ha'levavecha Veshinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha bebetecha uv'lektecha v'derech u'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot ayadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha uktavtam hamezuzot peitecha uvisharecha leman tizkaru vasitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem meretz Mitzrayim liot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. That wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. We join our hands together in voices on page 40 for the Micha Mocha.
Elim Adonai, mi kamoch nehedar b'kodesh, norat zehirot osefele, norat zehirot osefele. Malchut זכרה ובניך פוגע ים לפני משה זליאנו ואמרו זליאנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה לה יא לה לה לה. In a moment, we're going to join together in singing Hashkivenu. It's it's known to everybody who's a regular at our temple. You know it already in your heart and your mind. It's all deep in you. But for those who want the words, it's on the supplemental page that's found on the next page after Michamocha in the online prayer book. But a word or two about Hashkivenu, especially on this night, because it includes the words, in fact, it includes the word sukkah. That is to say, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shalom, right? Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Sukkot is sukkah. It's just a different grammatical form of the word of a sukkah. And so what we're asking for in this prayer is for God to spread over our heads a sukkah, a shelter of shalom, of peace. When we sit in the sukkah, sometimes we don't exactly feel peace. We feel hot. We feel cold. We feel rain. We feel wind. But we're supposed to also somehow experience shalom there as well. These species that we lift up together, they're all named in the Torah. In fact, the very Torah portion that Abby Allison will be reading for us tomorrow morning mentions these species. There are 4 of them. It says that we're supposed to have branches of palm. There's your palm tree right there. We're supposed to have boughs of leafy trees. These leafy trees here would be the myrtle branches. We're supposed to have willows of the brook, and here's the willow branches. And we're supposed to have the fruit of the hadar tree. No one is quite certain what the hadar tree, the word hadar as a piece of fruit means, but we have come around to understanding that the fruit of the hadar tree is the etrog, this almost lemon-like piece of fruit, but it has this special little tip on it. See right there? That tip is not the stem. Stem's over here. So there's your tip. It's called a pitom or a pitma, and that tip is how you know you got yourselves a good, kosher, ready-for-use etrog. Now, how do you get to experiencing with these 4 a sukkat shalom, a sukkah of peace? You do it by building a world of peace. It's not just when we sit in the sukkah. We're supposed to be able to begin to image forth the world that we are creating with one another. And oh my God, as we gather on this Shabbat with absolute abject chaos going on all around us, I mean, you just can't check the news within 5 minutes of whatever you last saw, and it's just more bedlam going on. We need peace inside our hearts and our souls. We need peace between one another at a time that's so fractured. We need peace in the world between nations and peoples where too much hatred reigns. So how do we do it? Well, the rabbis of the Midrash taught that each of these species is a bit of a hint. We're supposed to stand up for the things that mean the most and that are justice. And when we do that, our spine is as straight as the palm branch. We're supposed to see our way toward justice, to see what peace looks like so that we can begin to create it, and so to use our vision to help ourselves get there. If you look at the myrtle branches, they have leaves that look an awful lot like your eye or the shape of your eye. And so we're supposed to use our vision to escort ourselves to that Sukkat Shalom. We're also supposed to make certain that our words lead to the creation of peace in the world. We're not supposed to be careless with the way in which we speak. We're supposed to make certain that our words are creators of love, not creators of additional hatred. And the willow branch. Look what it looks like. Your mouth, when closed. But when we open it, we're supposed to make sure that it is a vehicle for creating shalom, peace. And last but not least, the yearnings of our hearts. That's where peace ultimately begins, so that all of the other parts of our bodies can bring forth something that leads us along that journey to peace. This little piece of fruit smells beautiful, looks unusual, but it is roughly in the shape of our heart. It's even about the size of our heart. And so, heart, spine, eyes, lips, all of them contribute to our creating peace in this world, creating a Sukkat Shalom, the one that we're about to sing about, the one that we're about to dwell in together, the one that we're going to create and build in the world. Please join with me. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
We continue with the Amidah. I invite you to please stand. We are on page 46. Oh God, as I stand before you, I ask for strength and for courage as I take time to look at myself. May I open my lips in prayer. Adonai sfatai tivta, ufi agitani latefa. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chastei Avot ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei v'neihem, Lema'an Shemo be'ava, Melech Ozer u'Mosheh u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah, Rav lehoshia, Morid hatah, Mechakel chaim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim berofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman et halachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'groshim b'chol yom, Yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We take just a few minutes now to look at the words in the prayer book or the words in your heart. And we go till page 62. You may continue standing or seated, or you may be seated when you are finished. We continue with those words that Rabbi Chasen said so beautifully for the Hashkivenu. Those 4 words, Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, spread over us that shelter of peace. And not just in Sukkot time, that we may feel a shelter of some sort of presence above us, a shelter that warms us, a shelter that protects us, a shelter that is always with us. Ufros Aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, Shlomecha, Ufros Aleinu, Ufros Aleinu, Sukkot, Sukkot, Shlomecha, Shlomecha, Yalai, lalai, yalai, lalai, yalai, lalai, 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 yalai, lalai, yalai, lalai,
shift to our prayer for healing, the Mishaberach. We invite you all to just take a moment to think about those in your lives, in your world, that are struggling, that are sick and not well, be it from COVID or anything else, that we hold them all in our hearts. That this blessing is a selfless blessing that we give to all people that are struggling in this time. We do not wish struggling and suffering upon anyone. So if there's someone that you are holding close to your heart in this moment and in need of healing of body, mind, or spirit, I invite you to speak their name aloud so that we can receive it through the winds and be holding their names with you. We continue together with the Mishaberach in the middle of page 253.
Hey, the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We continue with the Alenu on page 282. I ask you again, please rise. Alenu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet kedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kimishbechot adama, shelo samchelkenu kahem, וגור עלינו כחול המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר ואדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. As we look up at the stars in our Sukkot, we share these words from Hannah Senesh to help prepare us for Mourner's Kaddish. Yesh kochavim she'oram magia arza. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, These are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways that we remember. As we recite Kaddish this Shabbat, we especially remember Jack Nissenbaum, father of Robert Nissenbaum, father-in-law of Heather Nissenbaum, and grandfather of Sari, whom death has taken from us recently. And we link his name with Jeff Allison, James Bardis, Corinne Binder Edelstein, Fifi Bronstein, Sidney Clute, Lawrence Cohen, Gordon Davidson, Benjamin Emanuel, Irving Feig, Lottie Fine, Irving Fuller, Seymour Gantman, Theodore Gerson, Hattie Goldman, Aaron Gottlieb, Leon Greenberg, Leon H. Guide, Marilyn Halpin, Marie Himovitz, Rose Isaacs, Gertrude B. Miller, Jerome Moss, Laura Neiman, Herman Pillars, Rochelle Rappaport, David Solomon Ribbett, Renee B. Rice, Ronald Russell, Sharam Satare, Leon G. Sklar, Gail Smiler Steinberg, Adele Bitterman Snyder, Arnie Sperling, Lloyd Stockel, Howard Tiger, Naftali A. Weidberg, Lillian Wolf, and Dakota Ziff. We also think of those who have died as innocent victims of violence in a world that is beset with so much suffering and so much violence. And we think of those who have perished protecting our country and our people's ancient home, and also those who have died recently to COVID-19. Holding all of them in our hearts, we join together for words of Mourner's Kaddish, which can be found on page 294, and we invite you to please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yama divrach irate v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam ulamei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisha berechu, le'elah min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mermav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Zichronam levracha, may their memories truly be for a blessing.
We're going to conclude our service tonight with what seems to be the Leo Beck Temple Sukkot theme song. Your job is to just repeat after me, but I'm going to first start with the chorus and see if you all know it. Shake, shake, shake the lulav, smell the etrog so sweet. Come and have a look in my sukkah, help yourself to something to eat. In my sukkah, in my sukkah, in my sukkah. All right, here's where you repeat after me. I see Rabbi Ross is already in his sukkah. I built a little sukkah, out in the back, out in the back. Looks like a house, and a little like a shack. Well, it's not too big, and it's not too high. And when you sit inside, you can see the sky. Here we go. Shake, shake, shake the lulav. Smell the etrog so sweet. Come and have a look in my sukkah and help yourself to something to eat. In my sukkah, in my sukkah, in my
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And Shabbat, I get to see, I see the Bennett Ross children. I see Emily Segan just joined us from college. We're so glad to see you, especially since you were doing the In My Sukkah hand motions. We are now going to get ready to split up to do our Sukkot studies and to share a little bit of